Good morning, and today I'm with Raoul van Eijndhoven. I think that's the correct pronunciation, Raoul, but please tell me if it's not. So good morning, how are you?
Good morning, I'm fine. How about yourself?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been blessed with this time.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
great blessing. So Raoul, you're sporting an unusual look this morning. You're going to come on to explain to us a bit more about that in a second, but can I first
Yeah.
of all start by asking you to tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to be in Faringdon?
Ooh, I was just thinking about how long ago was it that we moved to Faringdon? It's been now 13 years or so that we moved to Faringdon. The reason was we used to live in Oxford, on the Headington side of Oxford, and my wife was working in Kidlington and I was working in Swindon. And we thought it might be better to see if we can find something that is more or less halfway-ish. And we had a look at Faringdon and we found a rather nice house. You might know it.
I do know it. Do you want to explain how I know it?
Well, yeah, this used to be your house, wasn't it?
It did.
Yeah, yeah. It's only afterwards that we realised that. But so yeah, we moved to we found this place in Faringdon, which is halfway-ish between the two, and it was affordable compared to a lot of other places in Oxfordshire, which were unaffordable for us. So, and that is how we came to be to Faringdon.
Yeah. And you've immersed yourself in Faringdon quite deeply, haven't you? I mean, you volunteer for the Folly and Code Dojo, and sorry, I didn't say that right.
Yeah.
Code Dojo, yeah.
Yeah, I am part of the management team of the Folly Tower. Again, about 10 years or so, I got. There was an open day in the Corn Exchange, and there was a stand with the Folly, and somebody was very persuasive to ask me to join them. Just initially helping out with manning the tower as a volunteer, and later on I got more involved in the day-to-day running. At the moment, I've stepped back a little bit due to other obligations, private obligation I've got with regards to my wife's illness. So that's great fun. I still do it. So every time the tower is open, I will put the signs out in town and around town. Look after the Facebook page a little bit, and then I used to be part of the Code Dojo gang, doing that once a week. Again, I've stepped back from that due to personal reasons. I just couldn't manage it all together.
And that's understandable.
So, and then, yeah, I've been the early days of Faringdon, where we still had the music scene, forgotten what the name was called. No, the
15-minute club.
15-minute club,
yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is how we got to know a lot of people. Our son started singing there in the Corn Exchange and playing his music, which was great. We got to know a lot of good friends through that. And then, yeah, Folly Fest, I've never been really involved. Did a bit of volunteering with marshalling, but that was about it.
Yes.
But no, it's we're still here.
Brilliant. And I think it's fair to say that you're an important part of Faringdon. I mean, just from what you've told us now about your involvement in the town, it's the more you put into something, the more you get out, don't you? And I think that's true of any community.
Am I an important part of for Faringdon? I don't like to think so, but
I think everybody's an important part of Faringdon, particularly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Raoul, I don't want you to sit there with that mask on forever. So tell us about your business and how you're coming to be wearing this mask this morning.
Okay, the business that I've got here in Faringdon is I do IT consultancy for small businesses, and which is basically providing IT support, advice on everything IT related if I can. And I've been doing that now for getting over 10 years after I was made redundant from a big company in Swindon. And about a week and a half ago, or it's not 2 weeks, it's Friday. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine messaged me saying, "Hey, have a look at this BBC Wales or BBC News Wales video about a guy making these masks. And you got a 3D printer, so uh, is it possible for you to make a couple for me?" I went, okay, let's have a look. I looked at it and I was going, hold on, this is rather interesting. Because yes, I've got a 3D printer. It's printing there in the background at the moment.
Yeah.
And I thought, let's give it a go. I found the designs on the web. I got in contact with the people or with the person that made these initially. And I started printing. I will take it off, but it's basically very simple. You got a black top bit that is 3D printed. You got a black bottom bit that is 3D printed, piece of elastic, and some clear film.
Yeah.
And that is basically it. And the clear film, people said, "Oh, why is that?" Do you remember those old days with the overhead projectors where you had like a transparent sheet that you could write on?
Yes.
That is this.
Amazing.
And then just 4 punch holes and you're done. So
how long does it take to make one?
How long?
Yes.
This design that I've got here, I can make 2 of them in about 3 hours.
So it's quite a long process for each one.
Sorry?
It's quite a long process for each one.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. And you try to streamline the process. And I think I've now made just about 100 in total. And they've, so when I started with this, it was a very small group in the UK that was doing this. And basically it's exploded.
Yeah.
We're now over 5,000 people in the UK that are printing these. And there's been a total request of over 330,000 requests for these masks. So we're printing like there's no tomorrow to get these done.
Yeah.
For me,
it's a 24-hour-a-day operation for you, isn't it, at the moment? I've been seeing your social media posts about how many times the machine breaks down.
Well, luckily so far it's only broken down twice. So that is lucky. Now, it is a 24-hour process. What you do is during the day, you do the things that you can do quickly, which require a bit of time. And then before you go to bed, you set up a long print that will take about 8 hours. And then the next morning, it's done and you can start the small batches again. But yeah, we started, so now we have a group of about 5,000. And when I initially started, I got all of a sudden a friend of mine that is a GP in Swindon said, "Oh, can you print 10 for me? Because these are amazing and we're short of PPE equipment."
Yeah.
And I started to think, hold on, I need help. We need more people here in and around Faringdon. So I put a post out on both. I live in the town of Faringdon and I love the town of Faringdon. And immediate people came back saying, "Oh, what do you need?" Elastic. Okay, yeah, I've got some elastic. I will drop it off at your front door. You can come and collect it. I will have it at my front door. And you pick it up. Or they said, "I've got a 3D printer." That is how I got in contact with somebody in Carswell, Tom Buckland. And he said, "Yeah, I'm willing to help out." And about an hour later, I got a message from him. "Oh, I just ordered 7 printers."
Wow.
Yeah, that was my reaction as well. Wow. And he also spoke to, because he lives in Carswell, right next to St. Hugh's School. He said, "Well, the school is closed and they've said that I can use one of their rooms for the printers."
Oh, but
and that is
shout out to Carswell School as well then for their part in this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A big thank you to them. And that is where he now has the 7 printers, and he's also running a 24/7 business in printing these masks. And his wife is now also part of it, and she's a regional coordinator for the South, for Oxfordshire. So, which basically means that when we've done our prints, if I don't drop them off or drop them off with people in and around town that have asked me, I can drop everything else with her, and that can then set out regionally within Oxfordshire and the bigger region to everybody that needs them.
So the network has grown organically very quickly.
It is very quickly.
Have any of the masks that you've made gone locally to our own health practice and professionals?
There 12 have gone to the local GPs, the White Horse practice. I've been working with Robert Russ, one of the GPs there. And I believe they're going to request more in the next few days. Last night I was in contact with the Faringdon district nurses, and they've requested 10 now. Funnily enough, I've been in contact with one of the local vets here in Faringdon, and they also said they would like to have a few. Again, not they at the moment they're very careful with asking people to come in with their vets. They're mainly doing phone consultancy or consultations. But if they do need to get people in with their vets, then the masks they hope can help with giving that little bit of extra protection.
Incredible.
Then was it Faringdon Court, the elderly home?
Faringdon.
Yeah, Faringdon.
Yeah.
They've also received masks from me for last Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's people like them, and they're asking for them.
Is there anything that the people of Faringdon can do to help? Do you need financial donations towards the cost of some of these materials, or?
At the moment, we have for our region, we have a GoFundMe page running, and we've already hit the target that we need. And the money that we get for that will not go into the purchase of printers. I'm currently waiting for a second printer. Tom has 7 printers. We do that out of our own pocket or out of our own businesses. But the money is mainly going towards filament, so the material that we use for printing, the elastics, and the acetate sheets that go in front of them. That is where we use the money for to fund those things.
So at the moment, the fund is sufficient to keep you going?
Yes.
But if that changes, will you let us know so that we can put a shout out for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And to be honest, I must say I've been so grateful so far, because I've posted the GoFundMe page on I live in the town of Faringdon. I love the town of Faringdon, and the amount of donations we received from the people in Faringdon has just been amazing. So already I would say a massive thank you for the people of Faringdon to help out with this.
Well, I think the people of Faringdon need to say a massive thank you to you, Raoul, as well, and all those that are helping you, because it's so lovely to hear that this is actually going on in our community. Loving the Follyfest mug, by the way.
Yes.
And just the extraordinary efforts that are being made to make the scrubs for the doctors at the practice as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
The whole community has got just an amazing supportive feel about it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's, for me, it was straight away saying, okay, is there any way I can help? But knowing that I need to be very careful with regards to exposure for myself, because I've got asthma.
Yes. And
also for my wife. And being a volunteer, going out, helping people in one way, I thought, no, that is a bit too dangerous for me, but is there another way that I can help? And when I saw the 3D printing, I thought, well, that is right up my street. That is something I can really do and can help with. So that was a no-brainer for me to start helping with. So
well done, Raoul. A huge thank you. Lots of kudos for you. And give your company a shout out. It's Quidney Limited, IT Limited.
It's Quidney IT Limited.
And you're based at the Faringdon Business Centre, aren't you?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. We've moved out over a year ago, which because I was never there due to I was on the road quite a bit for one of my clients, and then after my wife got ill, it was a bit of a luck with unluck that I was working from home, because it also means that I'm around the house a lot more to be able to look after and do things around the house if and when needed.
Yes. And have you been busier at the moment too, with lots of people setting up working from home? Have you been setting up the Outlook 365 and?
Yes, yeah. Basically, up until the last 2 weeks of April. No, sorry, the last 2 weeks of March. April's still going. The last 2 weeks of March have been extremely busy. More or less every single business that we do work for came to me and said, "Can you set us up to enable our employees to work remotely?" And so, yeah, it was all of a sudden very busy for a short period. But it's now quite down a bit, which I don't mind, because it means that I can concentrate a bit more on getting the mask printed. But yeah, it's a lot of people have asked for the ability to work from home, work remotely, and then setting up the infrastructure and the bits and pieces that I needed for that.
Absolutely. Raoul, thank you so much for your time this morning. A huge thank you for what you're doing for the NHS locally, but also wider afield as well. Please give our very best wishes to your wife, Anita, and stay safe and stay well, both of you.
There's one more thing that I want to say. There's another passion that I've got, is astronomy. There's my telescope there in the back. Although people can't go out, you can still look from your garden. You can still look up. And one of the amazing things you can see at the moment, if you're looking at the southwest, in the evening after the sun has gone down, you see one extremely bright star. That is our planet Venus.
Yeah.
And so just go out in the evening. It's nice and warm. It's getting nice and warm, and just look up and see what you can see in the sky. Which is, again, you can do that from your own back garden with the kids. And they. So,
great. Thank you very much, Raoul. Thank you for sharing the time this morning. Have a good Easter weekend, and well done for what you're doing.
My pleasure.
Take care.
Bye-bye.